had the pleasure of talking to the Bradenton, Florida police chief yesterday, and what a great reaction we had to her, because she's no nonsense. She lets you know that if you're not evacuating or you weren't evacuating, well, she let you know, so you don't want to mess with her. The chief is with us again. Chief, good to see you. You look well. How's your community looking?
Good to see you. We're having a little bit of audio problems here. It may be from the hurricane roaring through my ears all night, but we're doing good. We got through the night.
Now, most people heeded your advice, Chief, and got out of Dodge, as it were, and evacuated. Maybe not everybody. Could you give me a damage assessment? I know you haven't had a lot of time to look at everything, but what does it look like?
So we have had a lot of time. We actually were prepared to hit the street at 2:30 a.m. when the wind subsided enough for us to go out safely. We actually had officers out there with chainsaws and straps and ropes trying to pull debris from the main roadways. We had a lot of people whose cars were stuck in ponds and puddles and a lot of deep water. We left them because that was their own fault. They didn't heed our warning when we told them to. We decided to deal with them today. I've been out there in the daylight. I've seen some disasters. I was on the relief with all the hurricanes since I've been a police officer for 38 years. Charlie, all of them. This is not as bad as some of those. We are not seeing houses that have been decimated at all. We are seeing missing roofs and awnings and signs and benches. The tree debris is very, very significant. But all in all, what I will tell you is that the city of Bradenton is blessed.
You know, we're not done with this, and you know Florida well. You know your community well, Chief. So, you know, I think this is the sixth major Gulf storm or hurricane to hit the Gulf this year. And they've all accelerated pretty quickly. What do you tell folks who think they're over the worst of it, or that they're laying back now? You always have to be, it seems, on a state of watch.
Right. I will say it again. I think Helene taught a hard lesson to a lot of folks in this region. And when we spoke of storm surge, they realized that they needed to get out of Dodge. And so I think probably more people than normal paid attention, but you know how that works. The next time rolls around, they forget it. We were still driving up and down streets with significant damage to people's homes and yards. And my question was, did you just get back? Did you stay? And they're like, no, we've stayed for 40 years. We're not going to go anywhere. And they were lucky. You never know when that luck's going to run out. So that's unfortunate. And people are not heeding our warning to not show up into town until we've had some time to fix traffic lights, to get officers posted. And so the traffic problem right now is like a 5 o'clock on a Friday. It's
right?
Horrendous right now.
Oh, wow.
Everybody's trying to get to places where some of them it's impossible to get to.
So what do you do to them? I mean, pretty strong warnings, you know, sort of shelter in place. Not everyone's doing it. I guess I can understand a little bit. They want to see how their property's doing, what have you. But what steps do you take when they're all doing that?
They're just waiting in line like everybody else. Some people can't even get to their homes.
Wow.
We are prioritizing our response to removing down trees. We're working with the city, but our first thing we need to do is deal with our traffic lights, our main thoroughfare, so we can get our emergency workers to and from. And so some of these side streets where people are calling saying, hey, there's a tree blocking the road. Honestly, that tree could be blocking the road for a week because we can't deal with some of those issues right now. They're just going to have to park and get out and walk. You know,
Chief, I don't know if you're originally from Florida. You live there now. You're a big deal there. You're a police chief.
I'm born and raised.
Are you really? So you've got and experienced a great deal of storms in the past. Do you ever wonder, I don't know how much more I could put up with this, or I know there are a lot of transplants, New Yorkers and Northerners and others who've been attracted to your beautiful state who are now maybe wondering, maybe not. How about you?
So, you know, somebody told me the other day when I was lamenting about damage to my own home, they said, Melanie, well, this is called paradise tax. We live in paradise. And from time to time, this is the tax that we have to pay, and maybe it's God's tax. Who knows whose tax it is? You know, I was born and raised here. This storm certainly gave me pause. But, you know, I could never leave. I could never leave. And I'll tell you, it's times like this, our police department, our city, even this community right now, it's incredible to see how everybody is coming together. And I think that's what makes Florida strong, is to see how we all come together in these situations. I have been turning away dozens upon dozens upon dozens of departments who want to come help us.
Wow.
And my message to them is, look, we got hit hard, but we have enough officers. Please go help some of these other agencies that need it more. But it's just so refreshing to know how we all work together.
Well, that starts from the top, and Chief, that goes to you. When I had you on yesterday, a lot of people were emailing me who knew you very well and said, she's the real deal. We're lucky to have her. And I don't think they were your family. So, Chief, it's very good seeing you. Be safe, be well. But you'll get through this. You guys always do. Melanie, thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I say one more thing?
Please.
Hey, so darkness is going to come tonight, and there's going to be a lot of businesses boarded, a lot of people without power. If you don't live in the city of Bradenton and you are here to do something wrong, we will find you. We will seek you out. And if you're doing something wrong against the law, we will arrest you. Do not come to our city to break the law tonight. Not allowed.
Well said. All right, Sheriff, thank you. I don't think I'd mess with those orders. Melanie Bevan, the Bradenton, Florida Police Chief.